In order to live an extraordinary and abundant life, you must focus on your internal battle and win within. My name is Randy Wilson, and welcome to the Rich Mind Podcast. All right, everyone, welcome back to the Rich Mind Podcast. And today we're going to be diving into another success principle to wrap up here in 2024. As I mentioned in the previous episode, we're going to be diving into the work of Napoleon Hill. His Think and Grow Rich has been a big impact on my life as I've tried to implement his success principles. As I mentioned, he has 13 success principles within the book. I will encourage you again, if you don't have that book in your library, whether it's a physical book or even Audible, I would highly recommend you get that book in your library and you go through it, devour it, study it. Don't just read it to comprehend it. Read it to apply it. Read it to understand it at its core. And I promise you it's going to do great things for you. It has for me, and it has for millions of others, which is why I know it's so powerful. So I wanted to bring apart and bring forward 6 of the principles that I think have made the biggest impact on my life. Hopefully they will be impactful for you and your life moving forward. And the whole idea is that we bring 2024 to a close if you're catching this in real time or if you're catching this even in the future. The idea is that these can be implemented at any time, but I've thought that coming into the year end and getting ready for a new year, I thought this would be a great time to talk about some of these principles and have them be ready to go, right? Start applying them, start implementing them as quickly as you possibly can. And who knows where it'll take you, which is super, super exciting. So in the first episode, we talked about persistence, and I gave you a little bit of a story about myself and how I've tried to do similar things like a podcast before. I had a YouTube channel back 12-ish years ago, and I didn't continue. And the idea is that I want to make sure that you persist. You need to be persistent with whatever goals, ideas, visions that you set for yourself. And I challenge you to question, where is it that you fall short? Where is it that you stop? That understanding what that is and understanding what those triggers are, understanding why you stop when you're in the middle of achieving great things, that's going to be a great ability for you to use moving forward. It has for me, as I've been able to catch myself wanting to stop. That's when I've been able to continue to move forward. And that's what I want for you moving forward here today. So let's move on to the second success principle that I want to discuss, and that is a burning desire. He talks about this early in the book about having a burning desire. And so what does that mean? And I'll describe to you what it means to me. I would encourage you, as I mentioned, to read the book and try to discover and figure out what it means to you exactly. But the idea today for myself is that when I hear the idea or the principle burning desire, I think about something that's just, it's inside of you, meaning it's like you get up and excited to show up, to do your work, to move forward, to accomplish greater things. It's something that is deep within you. You can feel happy, excited, nervous sometimes. So it's not a perfect straight line, right? You're not going to wake up feeling great 24/7, 365. That's not how life is. We all have challenges. We all have struggles. But the point is that you've built up or you've discovered what this burning desire is within you. And when you do that, it's going to be much easier to achieve the success that you're looking for. So let me give you an example of something that is happening in my life in real time. This is actually happening for my wife, Stacy. She's been on the podcast more than once. I would highly encourage you to go back to and search for Stacy in the episodes. She's so fun. She's full of knowledge. She looks at life differently than I do, but the two of us combined, right? We're a great team, and that makes it a lot of fun. But one thing that she has done and wanted her entire life is to work within the wedding industry. She loves weddings to the point where she gets giddy even when just thinking about them. She gets excited to think about going to a wedding and on a Saturday afternoon, doesn't matter what time of year, when everybody, and I say everybody, I mean that in just general sense, when most folks are looking to relax and not really do anything, she gets excited to go be part of a wedding, which for me is like, I don't quite comprehend it because that's not my burning desire. But the point that I'm trying to make here with this success principle is that she's discovered where her burning desire is. She's wanted ever since I can remember. I can physically remember back when we were in our early 20s. This was before we even got married. We've been married now for together for 30 years, married for 28. But the point is, before we even got married, we sat on a park bench. I'll never forget. We were just talking about life. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to be? And she told me in that moment, she described this wedding venue that she wanted to own, that she wanted to operate. She nailed it down to what colors. She nailed it down to how big, what it was going to offer. She had this desire inside of her way back then. This was, like I said, 30 years ago. And it's taken a while for us to get to the point for her to take action into that burning desire. That's another story for another day. But the point is that she discovered what that burning desire was, and she's allowed that now to become the fuel to move her into this industry. She is currently working in it full time. She has a wedding coordinating business that she runs on the side as well. And she just loves talking and discussing and helping brides and grooms, the entire family, but mainly brides, create their dream wedding. And it just makes her excited every single day. She gets super excited. She just left a few moments ago here today even, and she has a wedding coming up that she's super excited about. She cannot wait to get with that bride and bring it to life. She loves seeing it come to life. So that's what the story, and that's what I want to leave with you here today. What is it in your life? What is a burning desire in your life? Part of it for me is going back to the persistence part piece for myself, was that a burning desire for me is to create and continue to be creative with my content. Create, get out there, learn new skills, share my thoughts, share the wisdom I've gained, learn new wisdom from others, right? And try to share that with other people. That's been a burning desire of myself that I've had to work through my persistence, which goes back to the first principle that we talked about. But the idea is that with that burning desire, you're going to be willing to step through and go through the challenges of the day-to-day grind. We all have things that we have to deal with, whether it's bills, whether it's other people, whether it's, even with the weddings with my wife. She doesn't come home every single wedding having a fantastic experience. Sometimes folks can be challenging. But at the same time, she still gets up the next day and is excited to dive into the next one and the next one and the next one, which is super exciting. It's fun to watch from an outside perspective. It's fun to watch someone that has this burning desire, that has this ability to take this skill of really helping folks, right? She's in the business of helping folks achieve this vision for themselves, and to watch it from an outside perspective is a lot of fun. So that's the question I have for you today. What is it? Go back as far as you possibly can in your own life. What is a burning desire that you have had in the past? What is it, something that you get super excited about? And it can be anything. I have a friend that he's fantastic and he's great about telling stories, and he started to put those stories into books. He has the ability to take words and putting together in a certain way. And that's not me. I mean, I can get on camera here and talk about a few things, but I don't have the ability to paint pictures with words. I try to get better at that. And he's helped me. He's influenced me to work to get better at that. But he has the ability to take words, written or even verbal, and paint pictures in people's minds. That's a skill that is just wonderful. And that's a burning desire of his. And he's out there sharing that skill and that gift with a lot of people, which is super cool and super exciting. So the work for him is not necessarily work. That's the thing as well. So you get to the point where you're in this desire that when you're working, for example, I'm working right now, but it's not work. It becomes fun. Are there challenges? Yes. Are there days that I don't necessarily feel like doing it? Of course. But at the end of the day, the point is that you need to find that desire from back when you were a child. It can be even something from today, right? It doesn't have to necessarily go back to when you were a child, but I would probably believe, because it's been that way for me. It was that way for my wife. It's been that way for others when I've had this discussion with them. There's been something in your life that you have really wanted to accomplish, to become, to be, that you've pushed it down. You've kept it from coming forward. And I want to encourage you as we move into this new year, 2025, that to let it start to come out. Let the start believe that it's possible. It is possible. In today's age of technology, with AI, with information, you can learn literally how to do anything virtually for free. Virtually, in a relative speaking, right? You don't need to go get this big college, hundreds of thousands of dollars degree to learn how to do what I'm doing. You don't have to do it. And I can reach people all over the world. And you can do it too. My wife, she doesn't have to go out there and spend a ton of money to have this burning desire to get in front of a lot of folks, to help people, to offer value within her business. The point is that it doesn't take as much effort these days as it did even back when I first started that YouTube channel 12 years ago. It was tough back then. It was a challenge to do what I was doing, which that's an excuse, but we won't talk about excuses today. The point is, I want you to get your burning desire. I want you to let it come to the surface. And then I want you to start thinking about, what is it that I can start doing right now to start bringing this desire to life? It can be anything. Journal about that. I talk about journaling a lot. Grab your journal and think about it. Write it down. Pause this as soon as you get done with this episode. Turn everything off. Turn your phones off. Turn the TV off. Go somewhere quiet and just think about it. What is something that you've always wanted as a child or even in your adult life that you want to bring to the surface? And if you allow yourself that chance to do it, who knows where your life will become? And that's the exciting part. You can start to see the glimpses. For my wife, Stacy, as an example, you can see where we're headed. I can see where she's headed. She has doubts. She has some fears. She's not 100% certain, but at the same time, that desire keeps pushing her through. And as we keep doing that, or as I'm trying to encourage her to do that, you're starting to see glimpses of what actually is about to happen with her business, for herself, for the family. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I wish that for you as well. So go out there, focus on being great. Hopefully you enjoyed this second principle. As I mentioned, we're talking about Napoleon Hill's. He has 13 principles in Think and Grow Rich. And I'm breaking down the top 6 that I think have been the biggest impact in my life. Share a little bit of some stories that I've gone through or that I'm currently working with to try to bring them home a little bit better for you. As I mentioned with my stories, I'm trying to get better with painting pictures with my words. I'm not perfect at it by any means, but I'm obviously trying to get better at it. And the only way to do that is to practice. And here we are practicing more the craft today. So go out there, as I mentioned, focus on being great. I look forward to coming back with the third principle, and we'll do that in the next episode. I look forward to talking to you very soon. Have a great day. Bye now. Thank you for joining me on the Rich Mind Podcast. And remember, your external world is a reflection of what's going on inside of you. So focus every day on that internal battle and win within. Until next time, my friends.